Hello, welcome to my first Hangar Chat. This was a suggestion by Cliff Harvey. Blame him. Okay, so what is this Hangar Chat about? Well, Cliff advised me to do this, and he just said, well, you know, just tell people what you're about, what you do, so forth. And I know he's mentioned me in his last Hangar Chat. I think this is number 6 for him. What am I about, etc, etc. Okay, I'm just some silly old fool who makes models. That's it. But what's my motivation for making the models? Well, my motivation for making the models and putting it onto YouTube, besides getting fat, is you'll get a lot of modelers on, say, YouTube or Facebook or some of the chat rooms, etc, and they'll show you this wonderfully made, beautifully made model, but they don't tell you how they made it, and that frustrates me. I think if you're going to do something like that and you're going to show it to people, you should say, this is what I made, this is how I made it, and these are the mistakes that I made making it. Which is what I'm all about. I'm all about showing you the mistakes that I make, because every model maker makes mistakes. They just don't like to share it. I don't mind sharing it. I think it's quite funny, and I think it's useful for other people, so you can just avoid it. You know, and you'll get people, they will make Guillows, B-17s and things with retractable undercarriage and stuff, but how did you do it? How did you achieve that? You know, share the love. Now, it may be that some of these people are probably aeronautical, say I made a mistake now, aeronautical engineers by trade or something like that, or they're in the RAF or some engineer, and they have lathes and stuff like that, and etc, etc. Further, sometimes on the rare occasions that they, especially with free flight models, you know, the rubber powered stuff, which takes quite a lot of skill to do, to make something very, very light to withstand the stresses of having a high torque elastic band in there. So in other words, if you wind it up too much, it just collapses in on itself. It's called an implosion. How many times have they crashed that model until they got that perfect shot, the shot, you know, and it's going round and everything else? They don't show you that. I'm quite happy to show you that. I don't call them crashes, I call them sudden stops. It's just my sense of humour. So where are we, what are we about? Well, I'm in the West Midlands. You can probably tell by the accent. Cliff said it's up north. Well, to him it is up north because he's on the south coast, where it's very, very windy. You get nice weather there, but it's windy. And this is 2022, and it has been, with the first quarter of this year has been particularly windy, not very good for flying. So you come onto the workbench and you make your models, etc, etc, and it does tend to rain a lot. So if it's raining and you've got nothing else to do and the washing up's done, well, you come in and you do some building. So that's my motivation, that's what I'm about. What else do I do? Well, yeah, I've made a prototype of some radios. I started off in my youth in construction, and then I came out of construction, learned electronics, found that there's no money in it, and then I became an approved electrician. I am by trade a carded electrician. In America, this is just for the Americans and Canadians, they call it a master electrician. I've worked with many Americans in Afghanistan and Iraq and Saudi Arabia, etc, etc, so I understand the terminology that they use there. Usually have quite a lot of fun with Americans. They're okay. So what do I do? What's my setup? Well, I use Spectrum. I have several of these because this particular model, this is a bit out of date now, show you that, it's the Spectrum DX6i. This is now being preceded, I think they're DX8s now, something like that, and you can have 100 models on them. The reason I use Spectrum is because it does what it says on the tin. They're user friendly. I think Cliff uses Spectrum, I'm pretty sure he does. And the technology is getting better and better and better, and the electronics are getting smaller and smaller and smaller. Which, you know, obviously we didn't have that when I was a child. So I'm making up for it because model makers are basically children in men's bodies who can afford a few quid to spend on their hobbies and do the models they always wanted to make when they was a child, and they couldn't do it when they were a child because they hadn't got any money, or they had big brothers like I had. I'm the youngest of 5 boys, so any toy I ever had was immediately broken by jealous brothers who were a lot bigger than me. Well, now I'm bigger than them. I'll get in my own back, don't you worry about that. So yeah, so if you've got little brothers and stuff like that, treat them better than what you're treating them, because one day it will come back on you and they will get their revenge, trust me on that one. So yeah, so this is my workshop. Now this is a council garage which is at the end of my garden, it's on my property. I put the electrics in, power, lighting, etc, etc. And I'm doing a little deal with Cliff Harvey. He's told me he needs internet. My internet's over there, some access point or AP. So say thank you to Cliff. I'm advising him how to get Wi-Fi into your workshop so he can work on his computer and do things a lot quicker and easier. And so far he seems to be okay, because he's not phoned me back yet to say I don't understand. So, all right. The other person I'd like to mention is Tim. Tim the Plane Man. He's completely bald. Like a very good Bond villain, I think. The reason I'm mentioning Tim is because, like Tim, I'm about to start making videos about the Fokker DR1. Tim's just finished his Fokker DR1. Now Tim is into something, I'm not quite sure what they call it, aura flights or something, where basically it flies itself. It's computerized and self-stabilizing, etc, etc. So if you're into electronics and stuff like that and the software, go and check out Tim the Plane Man. He's done the Red Baron, the Fokker DR1. Cliff Harvey's just done a Fokker DR1, quite a big scale. I can't remember what scale it is. I'm pretty sure, you know, he'll tell you, but the wingspan's sort of like that. And he's just waiting for some good weather to fly that, and I think so is Tim. So I thought I'd give those a mention. And also Cliff said, do your about page. So I've written up my about page so people will now know who I am, what I am and why I am. And I'll just give you a very quick tour of the workshop, and then I have another garage that is full of models. I'll show you what I'm into and probably some of my dinky toys which are in the house. So I'm going to cut it here and then quickly spin around, and you can see where I am. Just to give you this shot. Yes, this is a Spitfire Mark 9 with a what looks like a sea wing. Now, why have I got that on there? I'll tell you why I got that on there, because I'm very much into my history, as one or two of you will know. My father was a flight fitter at the Spitfire factory in Birmingham, and he was very friendly with Alex Henshaw, who was the chief test pilot. Here's the one you see in the newsreels where Churchill comes and says, "Young man, don't ever frighten me like that again." Well, that's Alex Henshaw, and he was famous because he did some non-stop flights to South Africa. He was very famous at the time. My dad knew him. my mother worked in the offices with the blueprints. So consequently, I was brought up on Spitfires. I know how to take a Spitfire apart. I know how to start a Spitfire. I've never flown a Spitfire. I doubt they would let me near one. But I know basically the mechanics of the Spitfire, how it was designed first flight, who flew it, where the buttons are, what the buttons do. You get a trolley and you can hook up the trolley and open the magnetos and press the button. And little knowledge did you know that there's gun cartridges in the Spitfire. Put the cartridge in and you use that to turn the engine if you're in somewhere where you haven't got a starter trolley for the emergency start. So yeah, I was brought up on Spitfires, and obviously in 1969 they brought out the film The Battle of Britain, and they brought out Dinky Toys. They made the Spitfire and the Messerschmitt. A little bit later, other aircraft that had retractable undercarriage and a revolving motor. And I do on my channel, I show you how to refurbish those. I also show you how to, if you go to Lidl between May and June, Lidl is, I don't know if you have it in America or Canada, but in the UK and Germany especially, you have Lidl, and they sell the a child's glider, which I'm about to show you in a minute. And I show you how to make them into a 4-channel airplane, or you can make them into a slope soarer, and I customise them. I chop the tail off, I put the motor on the back, and you can basically get a very, very fast aircraft that is highly aerobatic, and they are great fun. It's not for the faint-hearted to chop the tail off, because they fly. I've not measured how fast they go, but they go bloody quick. Takes a bit of practice to do that. So right, okay, so what have we got? So let's pick up the camera. This is my building boards. This is my entertainment. At the moment I'm watching somebody called the Angry Bootneck, ex-Royal Marine Commando. I highly recommend him. There's my music and some of my tools. This is just for security. There's my Spitfire. Here's my oddments board, and behind me is my battery charger. Some of my, not all of my batteries, some of my batteries, just a few of them. I have a much bigger collection of batteries than that. The top shelf is for stuff that I'm building right now, so I put stuff up there. If it's got to dry or something, I'll just keep it out of the way so it doesn't get broken. My camera stand that I put my iPhone on, this is a different camera stand, and just bits and bobs ready. And then this is for my lawn. I love my lawn, I feed my lawn. It's full of feeds, weed killers, and down here is all my toolage that I use off and on. And this is my box of glass paper. Lots of different grades in there, I can assure you. It's full of glass paper, to the finest to the roughest. You know, lawnmower, stuff that I use off and on, chargers for my mobile batteries, woodworking machines, sanding machines, yada 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 yada. And it's just, that needs clearing up quite badly. I need to get in here and have a sort out, you know. So this is it, and I keep all my gardening tools on the ceiling just to save space. Does that make you feel queasy? Make me feel queasy. Yeah, this is it. It's all it is. It's just a bench that I made, and I put the electrics in and the lights which keep flaring up above my head. Did all that, and then I just hang things on the wall just to save space, you know, bits and bobs, little screws, 2BA screws, 3BA screws, that's imperial sizes now. Got a mixture of them with metric, 3mm, 4mm, 2mm, 1mm, half a mil. You generally need these things, and you always drop them on the floor and you can't find them, so it's a good idea to have a little box of these things spare, and then 6 months down the line you find them on the floor and then you put them back in the box. It's a good idea to go around with magnets if you really lost them, because you just can't see them. I tend to keep my magnets on the metal door. I can always find them, they're always there. So you don't have to be clever, you don't have to have complicated machinery, you don't need lathes, you don't need 3D printers. I don't have a 3D printer, and if I did I wouldn't know how to use it. I haven't got a clue how to use a 3D printer. I've seen one working in a school from a distance. No idea, none. So I'm going to grab my keys and I'll take you to what Cliff calls the hangar, which is quite correct. I tend to call it the stable. It's a hangar. See you in a minute. Welcome to the hangar. Well, that's what it looks like. It is chock full of aircraft. There's a kite. I brought this kite in Washington DC after visiting the Wright Flyer. This is a model I converted out of boredom and put floats on it, and I've never flown it off the water. These are some of my static models. My airbrush behind here. I can't get it out. This is a little glider. This is the 8-year-old's glider, which I've chopped the tail off. You put a motor on it. This is very, very quick. Very, very quick. The special glasses for finding your nuts and bolts that you dropped. What else we got? We've got, here we are. So this is your little gliders. I've got a pack of these somewhere waiting to be built. These are my bits and bobs, stuff I keep because it's just going to come in useful sometime later. Film, unused film, white, green, there's some red somewhere. There's some, what do you call it, not silver, chrome film, some red film there. My iron, magazines, reference, decals or decals, some could like to say. Wow, so that's me bits and bobs. Here is, this is one of my favourite type of models, the Messerschmitt 109. This is actually, I built this as a slope soarer. Yeah, you can slope them as a glider, chuck them off a steep hill. This one had the sudden stop. Actually, what happened to this, I was in Derby at the time and I was so into what I was doing I didn't realise there was a boulder to my left hand side. Flew into the boulder because I was looking at this, not where it was going, and it was 10 feet off the ground. Anyway, so I'm rebuilding that, and this is a Fun Fighter. I think it's Carnarvon Fun Fighter, something like that. In fact, the label's still there. Yeah, there you go. It's actually designed to have an engine in it. Well, I didn't do that. I put a load of weight in the front and threw it off. But normally I would get up to a place called the Long Mind. The Long Mind, south. Malvern Hills. Malvern Hills. Here I have some of my modelling tools. My Dremel bits. My whatever that is, turpentine, painting pilots, my oils for painting pilots, bits and bobs left over that I don't want to chuck away. These are very good, by the way, for cutting tubes, tube cutter. You can also use it for cutting carbon fibre. Carbon fibre doesn't like to be cut, it doesn't like it at all, so you use one of these. Okay, then they're not expensive, about £4, something like that. If you can find an ironmonger's that's still open. Okay, this I've got a Lego camel. I did a video on that but never published it. This is the little glider that you'll find in little shops. Paints, all different paints, lots of paint. This is a general thing here. Glues, lots of glues, all types of glues. Now I'm starting to show you the collection. Fokker D7. I like my Fokker D7. My collection of SE5As. This is quite a large scale one. This flies absolutely beautifully. I really like flying this. This one is the, let's see, let's get this right. This one's the Gwillows. This one is the Vintage Model Company, not Club, Company. Mark 9 Spitfire. Under here I have some of my little gliders. I have my my Riot. This is a speedy thing, what do you call it? I don't know, can't remember, but it's quick. And under here I have a P40 retractable undercarriage, etc. Night Vision Air. My Messerschmitt 109 that is electric. This flies great. It's really quick, it's fast. This is fast, it really is. And then up here we have Tim's Red Baron, a whole host of other aircraft, Spitfires, Messerschmitts, P40s. There's another Messerschmitt, and probably my favourite, P51 Mustang. This flies great. It is fantastic flight. I love flying this. Highly aerobatic. If you're not used to flying or you're a beginner, this will make you cry when you can take it home in the bin bag. Yeah, love that. It's a fantastic flyer. It's a lot of fun. So I haven't got lots of room left for making more kits. So I don't know, I need a few more sudden stops, I guess. Make some room. So there you are. Before I go, because I don't want this to be too long, I'll very briefly show you the Dinky toys, which are on a glass shelf in the lounge. I'm not going to show you my lounge. It's my lounge, not your lounge. This is just an Airfix kit. Somewhere on here, oh there it is, there's a switch, there you go. And I have Spitfire, does exactly the same thing. I have 2 more of these kits to do. I might even show you, if somebody shows an interest, I'll show you how to do that. And here's some of the refurbishments that I do on Dinky toys, and I have several videos on how to do those. And basically you just take a scrap toy, take the motor apart, get it working, strip off the paint, and I show you how to make those as they should be. And just to finish off, what is the next project? Well, the next project is the Vintage Model Company. So I didn't say club this time, Vintage Model Company Fokker DR1, which is why I've been mentioning Cliff and Tim. And these are the drawings. Now what I've done is I've pinned them ready. You get two separate drawings, and I've pinned them ready on two separate pieces of 12mm plasterboard. So they're ready to go on the bench. And there's the box of bits to start it. So there you go. That's me, that's what I'm about. This is my ugly mug, this is my big fat belly, and gardening tools on the ceiling, shelf at the back. That's it, that's me, that's all there is to it. Nothing sinister. I don't get paid, nobody sponsors me. I'm not claiming to be a professional model builder. You know, I'm just a guy who can do certain things and happy to share with you what I can't do properly, which is most things. I'm pretty sure my good lady would confess to that. Apart from my making radios and electronics, I'm not bad at that actually, I'm alright. My problem, apart from being mental, I don't do software. I don't understand software. Well, I do understand software, but I don't know how to apply it, which is why my channel doesn't look very good. Because I took Cliff's advice and I filled in my about page, and it took me half a day to figure out how to do it. I'm just pants at it. So if there's some young person who can show me, I very much appreciate it. So there you go, that's me. I am the Barron Flights with 2 R's. One person spotted that out of all of you. It's deliberate. It's to make it unique. Well done, that person. You got me. Okay. Anyway, I hope that you will follow me as I build the Fokker DR1, the Red Baron. I will be putting in a little bit of history because I am a history buff. It's something I get from my mother. I read history a great deal. I read a lot, great deal, and I know quite a lot about the Red Baron. He wrote a book. I might show you. I have the book here. I'll show you that when I do my build. So there you are, my first hangar chat, and if it all goes wrong, it's your fault, Cliff. Bye. Barron's blog, supplemental. Just tap this on the end of the video. I just want to say thank you for the new subscribers. We have Pat O'Connor, who's got a video called Flight Test. He's at Ruxbury Middle School, by the looks of it. If I got that right, I don't know. Thanks, mate. Let's mention some other names. LJ Smith, I've just replied to you. Thank you very much for your kind words. Furball, Bill Cooper. Have I got this right? Or am I getting my names mixed up? Red Whiskers Nagel. Is that how you pronounce it? Nagel? I don't know. Send me a message, tell me. So yeah, just want to say thank you to you guys and very much appreciated. And I will be reading and replying to every message that I get until it becomes too much. Thanks a lot. Bye.